Hello, Blake Hart here. Today's video is a video I wish existed for myself, so I'm gonna create it for all you guys out there that want to dive into Maschine, but you're not doing it because you have a blocker, and that blocker is making sense of how to just start using it. You know, a lot of times we create this wall for ourselves that maybe really isn't there, but we try to start something and it just doesn't happen as easily as we think it should or could. And in my case, I had bought a Maschine Studio many years ago, and it sat on my desk, and I would attempt to use it and just feel completely overwhelmed. I didn't really know where to start. Fast forward to just a few years ago, and I had the Maschine MK3 and I wanted to give it another try. And I looked to see what was on YouTube or if there were any courses out there that I could watch to help me. And I still felt a little overwhelmed. I don't know if it was the delivery style of maybe the course I had purchased, because I didn't even know who that instructor was. And, you know, maybe it was just trying to make sense of all the different YouTube videos and put them together to, like, learn just a few things, because you can get lost in YouTube world, right? Because what you're looking for is not necessarily what is being delivered to you. This video is the first video in a series in which I'm going to help you get started, hopefully much more easily than I got started. Today's video, as you saw in the title and clicked here, is to talk about patterns and scenes and groups, and really understanding how those pieces of the puzzle all fit together in using the Maschine software or on the Maschine hardware. I found that concept one of the more difficult things to wrap my head around. Now, once you get it, it's easy, right? You get how it works, but it's sort of that like first initial step to understanding you know, well, what is a pattern? What is a group? What is a scene? What is the ideas mode? What is the arrangement mode? What are the differences between these two things? It can be a little overwhelming. So we're going to get behind the computer and we're going to take a look at it. And I assure you, by the end of this video, you will understand what those things are and how you may want to use them as you start making music in Maschine. Let's go. Okay, so here we are in a new project, and this is how, when you open it, it starts out. So let's go pick an instrument to load up into this group. And what we're going to do is you want to make sure you're on the keys here, and you can just go down and you can pick something. So let's go with the new Lo-Fi Glow. Whoops, I have vocal pick, so that's why it was just going there. So let's pick this, we'll load this up, and I'll show you how this works. This is called a group. This is an instrument that I just loaded into the group, and this is one of the sounds out of the 16 sounds that can be in the group. Generally, I just have one sound per group. That's how I set it up, and so I also label things accordingly. So let's call this chords, and we'll lay down a chord. In order to get a pattern up here, I'm just going to double click right there, and I have a pattern. That's all you have to do. Double click and you get a new pattern. Your pattern is where you put your notes. So let's go in here. Let's put this in keyboard mode. Let's go to a major key and I don't know, just do like a D major here. And so that's the sound that I have going on. All right, so let's lay something down here. Shift, record, and let's lay something down. I don't know. I was going to do chords, but that's just like a keyboard thing. But you can do chords, right? So maybe I'm like, oh, okay, I want to try some chords here. So we can go back, we can put it in chord mode. Let's get a chord set going on, and let's check this out. It's funky. Alright, so say we're like, okay, let's like do another sound. Let's do a melody. And we can go and we can find something for there. We don't have to keep using Lo-Fi Glow. We can pick anything we want here. We can sort up here, we can go by vendor, and we can check out all the different things that we have, and it's all broken up by vendors here. So if you look down here, here's my Arturia. So if I wanted to open up something from Arturia, can do it down here. So let's see, let's open up decisions. Oh, there's output. Yeah, all kinds of stuff. So let's open up Diva. Why not? And let's pick something from here. Pick this. So let's create a pattern in here. Double click, we got a pattern, and let's try something. So off. I'm not always good at doing these types of things really quickly. So let's try again. That doesn't sound good. Shift undo. Let's figure this out first. Get rid of that. I don't really like the sound. That's part of it. I hate that note, and I kept playing it. And that sounded like crap too. You know, this stuff takes time, right? I can't just whip it out. But let's say I wanted to try something different. All it is just creating a new pad and just going at it again. Like let's say I wanted to use this. I had these chords over here. I could just Control All or Command All, Command C, and I can hop on over here and just even paste these in here and see what this sounds like. Doesn't sound good. It didn't sound, sometimes things sound good layered. Obviously these sounds don't. But I can play around with the different sounds. See what I like? And this is called Song Ideas mode, where you create the different patterns and put them together. Think of them as like pieces of a puzzle. That's how I like to think of it. So you create the pieces of the puzzle over here. You can have as many groups as you want. You can put together some drums. If we go over here, we can pick a drum kit. Let's go into the faded reels and we'll pick one of these faded reels drum kits. Faded reels. Let's try this one. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to get rid of all this stuff though. I just want the drums. So I'll get rid of those. So let's see. So this is where you keep building the puzzles. Like this one, I could go into my bass. I can load up a bass. You name it. I can go in. Sometimes I add miscellaneous, which might be vocals and different perks that I add in. But this is how I like to do it. So the other area that you will see is the arrangement mode. And sometimes people like to create their patterns in here. I don't do that, but sometimes people do. So once you create them in the song idea mode, you can move over to the arrangement mode and you can put them in. And you select them and add them, and here they are. And you can change up your song. You could duplicate this and say, I'm going to take this out right here. I'm going to remove this, and I just want to hear my drums. This is for looping, so that's really cool. I can extend it. I can loop the whole thing. So that is one way in which we can create. Again, we're in song ideas. We create our different patterns. We go over into arrangement mode, which is a more linear mode, and then we lay them out. But let me show you another way to do this. So I'm going to actually just get rid of all the patterns that I've created here, except for the drums, because those are pre-created. And I'm going to pretend like I'm starting out over here in arrangement mode. So I can do all the same things. I can click here. I can add a pattern. I can start recording in here. All right. I didn't have it looped, but if I have this looped again, it was looped, but just for it was the wrong duration. Go back on. And I can decide to create something in here. I didn't have record on. All right. And so the same idea. Let's say, I'm not sure I like that. I don't know if I want to keep it. All I have to do is hit create in here again. Pattern 2. I can give it another shot and not lose that. All right. This is just for the sake of showing you how this works. This is not a good song. That did not sound good. And then I can say, all right, I'm going to add this particular beat in here, and I can keep going from here. I can say I want to duplicate this, but then I'm going to take this out, and so I can take this out of here. So really, at the end of the day, what to know about this is there's so many different ways that you can create. It is very flexible. It is absolutely awesome. Your brain needs to just wrap your head around the fact that it is like putting puzzle pieces together. It's like Tetris. It is creating the sounds that are going to come together to make your song. And it is a matter of how you want to create them. At the end of the day, you're always going to end up in this arrangement mode, because this is how you're going to get your song linearly built out so that you can export it as a song. So I've showed you this all here on the software. Let's take a quick look down here at the actual machine and see how it works. I'm going to open up a new project. So let's discard this completely new. Okay, this is where you start out. So you have your first group that's open. You'd want to pick out a sound. So let's go up and we'll go into instruments, and let's go down to Analog Dreams. And we'll let's add these pads, and we'll do some chords first. So I'll show you how that works. So it's loading up here. So groups, we already have A. If you want to add new groups, it's as easy as just hitting these buttons. You're adding new groups. So let's go back to A. Let's go into chord mode. We'll just go into C major. So we'll do that. I'm going to bring this down, and let's try this. Of course, I was a little late here. Alright, so that's our first pattern. Well, let's say we want to make another pattern here, because I wasn't sure how crazy I was. I just hit pattern and then where I want to put it. Okay, so we can go back, go to that second pattern, and we can try something different. So we try something different. Note too, while you're looking at this, I don't have fixed velocity on. If I had fixed velocity on, I'm gonna get the same velocity every time I hit this down. If I don't, it's gonna be how hard I hit this pad. Okay? Alright, so let's say we want to go to group B and we're gonna create a new pattern. Actually, we have to load something in here. Cheesy land. Let's load that. So hit keyboard mode. I just did a C major, I think. Right? Yeah. C major. Cheesy land. So again, I can create as many patterns as I want here. Let's go to 1 and we'll put it in there. That's the worst sound. It is cheesy land. Folks, I don't even think I can do that. So let's find something different. See if that's better. All right. So off. That's what often happens to me, but you know what? It is what it is, right? It is what it is. It's all about having fun. Fun. You can go up here and you can go to your mixer. And this is, to me, this is a little loud, so I can turn it down. Let's go to group A and turn that down, turn that up a little. Right? I mean, and you just can keep going and keep creating and having fun. I've got nothing loaded in here, but alright, let's load that up. Let's put this in keyboard mode. That's horrible. Sometimes it takes you getting into keyboard mode. Realize it just doesn't work. I mean, you get the idea. I don't know what I'm doing, so let me just stop there. Well, I'll be better off for it. There you go. So that's how you, on the actual hardware, get to your different groups, get to your different patterns, and create those new patterns. There's definitely more advanced stuff you can do on the hardware, like duplicating patterns and moving stuff around, but I'm not going to go there in this video. Just covering the basics, and I think for me it was more helpful to learn how the software worked at first. That's really, I was just intimidated by everything, right? Everything I'm trying to learn all at once. How does the software work? How do I do this on the hardware? And it felt like a little much. So that's why I just wanted to break down the scenes for you versus groups, versus the patterns, and then the song idea mode versus the arrangement mode. So hopefully this is helpful and this gets you on your way and you can be making music and having fun. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. I'm going to have a few more videos coming out covering some of the basics, like I said, that I wished I had access to this type of video. Just a really simple, not crazy watching somebody create beats really quickly and trying to learn what they're doing, but just really simple, down to earth. Rewind it, listen to it again, and see exactly what it takes to start creating and making a song. And understanding these concepts right here, this is what makes your song. These are, like I said, the puzzle pieces that all go together, fit together, sort of like Tetris, and help you create. Have fun. I'll see you again soon.